So this happened a long time ago. There was Israel. They'd been there all along. They'd been there for hundreds of years, and they eventually fell. But the one thing that history is so amazing to me is that the Bible writes in a way that is unique to other books. It is real and genuine history. You might think there's embellishments. The Assyrians were wiped out, according to Hezekiah and Isaiah in that time period. They were wiped out in huge numbers by a single angel. And listen to the prayers of the people. And so Assyria kind of just broke up shortly after this experience with Hezekiah and his people. I love this artwork. You can look at the man. I've got a little green arrow that you can watch here. If you have a full view, I'm sorry if you don't, if you have an upright view, but hopefully we can get you to the right places. But look at the kind of almost, it's almost like a poster. It's stylized, even the lion and his muscles and tendons showing there. And these guys with their arrows, and man, and the horses that look like they're practically a machine. They're just so well trained, and they're going to attack. You don't want to mess with these people. Look at all this little extra stuff that protects them, the arrow in their quivers, all kinds of things going on here. And it shows and demonstrates the power of this people. If you look up here real close, you might see, it's a little hard to tell, but I'm going to take you to a different page. There's writing. It doesn't look like familiar writing, but I'm going to take you here. And there it is. This is one of the original tablets, not Apple, long before Apple. This is a clay tablet. And what they did, if you look right above here, they used kind of like a pointy stick, a triangular stick, and that is stuck into the clay. Well, maybe you don't know what clay is. Play-Doh. It's like that. And you take a glob, push it in your hand, make it into kind of a flat surface. And what they did is they would mark with their sticks in clay. And this was a way of lettering. Of course, these different sets of letters would denote different things. I learned Greek and Hebrew, but when they handed me one of these guys, it was, I think, from an accountant of some sort. And man, it just made my brain spin. They all have their meanings, and it's quite an art to learn this. And the professors wanted me to go through, but it was going to take forever to get through seminary, and I opted out of that one. But this is the clay tablets. Well, what happened was they would write these things down, and they even wrote stories down. And up here, it looks to me like it's a scene from Gilgamesh. These clay tablets were just raw clay until the castles or fortresses were burnt down. And what happened in the burning of those places, it turned this raw clay into pottery. And because it turned into pottery from the heat of the fires, it preserved these tablets. And people have gone through these tablets for thousands and thousands of these tablets. And then there was a story of Gilgamesh that they discovered. And you can look it up on Amazon. And it's not a big book, but it's something worth reading. It's fascinating. Here's this part of the story where Gilgamesh, at least that's the way I'm taking it, slays a lion. Notice how this lion is standing on his back feet and Gilgamesh is bigger. Gilgamesh was a giant. A lot of people are fascinated with Nephilim, and there's some other names that I won't list off right now, but there were giants in the land. And Gilgamesh, the story of Gilgamesh is kind of seeking immortality, and he goes through all these places, and it's a bunch of fantastic stories. And they were written down in those clay tablets. And that's how we have the story, one of the oldest known stories, full stories that mankind has uncovered in these generations. This is the same people group that they were talking about earlier. Notice here, well, first of all, look at the confidence of this guy. He's just kind of like, look, I'm going, I've got you. I've got this kind of almost a superhero type of guy here. And that's what the story was like. Amazing feats that he went through. Look at this. The sword is a piercing lion. And you notice that there's some kind of like rivulets to bleed out for the enemies that Gilgamesh would come to face with using his sword and his other, I think that's a bow back there, his other resources. I mean, I just love this picture. The claws are out, and Gilgamesh just has no problem with this. And, you know, the carrier of the bow is just watching in confidence for his boss. And Gilgamesh is this kind of fantastic character as part of the history. Why I wanted to mention this is that there's lots of propaganda going on in this artwork. We are great people. We are people to be feared. We have the knowledge of the giants. And you will find giants throughout history, all over the land. American Indians, giants there, very similar description. We've got talk of giants in Russia, Peru, Brazil, all this history of grandiose, and the Bible speaks of this too, the Nephilim. And it's an amazing part of history. By the way, these guys right here might have been destroyed just recently. There's some of them that I know for certain were destroyed because the kind of I want to say this the right way, the Muslim sect, disapproves so much of history. You want to just have your own history, and you want to let other people have a history. They destroyed much of this artwork, which I define murder and so on. It is the way this sect invaded the whole countryside, and they destroyed things left and right. I find that just horrible that they should destroy artwork. But history is an important thing because it gives us a tie to reality. Real things went on, real people were there, and it was a real world that was harsh and difficult, such as the history of Israel for thousands of years now. Such is the history of Christianity that has been a kind of thread running through these times. And we'll explore that more in detail. That is, if you follow, sign up, subscribe, whatever is necessary for the format that you're looking at, please do it for your benefit. There's amazing stuff that goes on, and I can only show it to you relatively slowly, one step at a time. For now, keep asking, AskOurPastor.com.